Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Families Everything.
Until it's not.
Another Salt Lake City episode. They just keep coming.
They get better and better and better. And I want to start by sharing with everybody that when I go to the islands, I also do water aerobics.
Oh, that's nice. It's good for your
I
foot.
love doing water aerobics. I went to one place where they tried to get you to do it on the board. I couldn't
Oh,
do
that's
that.
nice. I thought it was funny
You had
that
your
Whitney was
choice.
like, we see a lot of
The
ageism
old
on the
people.
show.
No, they said the old people go for water aerobics, and that's me, the old people. I do
But
the
it was
water
funny because you
aerobics.
know what? We complained last season about Monica being like, "Oh, Lisa, you look like a leather bag or whatever," and that's rude and mean. But I
It
think it's
is.
funny when Whitney's like, "Well, I wanted to do a water aerobics, so I thought, why don't I bring Angie and
The
Heather
old
with
people.
me?" Like
Yeah.
that was funny because
Yeah.
Whitney. It's more an insult to Whitney because she's so much younger, but yet she's married to a guy who's
Yes.
just as old as them.
I want to tell you, if you go away to the islands or any place where they offer water aerobics at the pool, do it because you laugh and joke with people, and it's always near the walk up bar, and so
Have
you
you
don't even
seen
have
the
to get
preview
wet.
for next
And
week?
no, wait, you don't even have to get out of the pool, and then you'll meet friends, and then you go to the walk out, the swim up
And
bar.
have a drink and have a
Yeah,
lovely
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah. So that's how you do it.
So I have. Did you see the preview for next week in the Sprinter van when Meredith Marks
Oh,
reminds me?
I watched it.
You can leave.
I watched it 4 times to
Okay, I
try to
haven't watched
figure
the whole
out.
thing. I just watched a clip.
Okay, I
We're not talking about it yet.
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say I did watch the previews 4 times to see who she was pointing at, and went back to see who was sitting in that. And I've surmised it's either Brittany or
Or Whitney.
Whitney. It's Brittany or
I think
Whitney.
it might be Whitney.
I don't know if Brittany's oh, Andrew told me last week or the week before to go look at Brittany Bateman.
Her website and her Christmas music. Isn't she amazing?
Listen, no, just go to her Instagram, and she sings while she puts on her makeup.
She's gorgeous
Is
voice.
is she's an angel.
I know.
I don't know why they haven't shown her singing yet
I
somewhere
think
on
that
this
she could
show.
actually have a this could if I have any advice to Brittany, it's like do whatever you can to stay on this show because you actually can sing and this may actually help your career big ways. Because
Yeah.
Erica Jane's now back on Broadway again as Roxy Hart, as we saw.
Yeah, that's fine. And
And
oh,
as Garcelle said, you'll never be on Broadway again.
oh, she
Oh,
was
like a
wrong.
season ago, she was
She
wrong.
was she was wrong. And I want to say that Britney's past the ingenue stage, of course,
Yes, of
but
course.
she is entering that character stage.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sure I mean, we know she can sing. I have a feeling she can act because sometimes I think she's acting. And I'm trying to think of like what roles. And that's funny you said Chicago because I can see her in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That would be the role because you have to be mature to be in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
she's
could
not
see
going to be
her.
Glinda, you know?
No, no, no. I could see her in like, I don't know, some different shows,
I
like
can see her
maybe
as Mrs. Mullen in Carousel.
I could see her as Mother in Ragtime.
Yeah, that's what I mean. More of the little older roles. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not aging her out.
Or
I
maybe
hate to
like
do that.
Ernestina in Hello Dolly. Like she shows up to have dinner with what's his name? Van
She could
Gelder
maybe
before
be
Dolly.
Dolly.
Maybe, yeah, she'd be a great
Oh,
Dolly.
and you know who else she could be good? She could almost be Mame. Now,
Maybe, yeah, Mame. Yeah, Auntie
I
Mame. She'd be a
yeah,
great Auntie Mame.
yeah, I do think so. And she's not quite old enough yet to
Brittany, we want to
play.
bring you on Auntie Andrew to talk about
Oh,
Broadway
and
shows.
just Broadway shows. She's not quite ready for Gypsy Rose Lee for Gypsy.
Maybe we'll have Brad on
She's
as a special guest with Brittany Bateman.
Oh,
We can
that
talk
would
about
be
Broadway.
everyone. I mean, everybody does know you don't wear stilettos on a yacht. I
No,
mean,
no,
that
of
was
course.
crazy. But another beautiful boat. I don't know where they find them all. I really don't.
I I feel bad for Lisa Barlow, but at the same time, Lisa, you walked into this trip knowing that you planned a trip and everyone hated each other. So what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, it's chaos that is golden. It's hard to recap it because there's so much going on.
At every
Mary
moment.
Cosby is just
Oh,
like blessing. I Mary Cosby has single-handedly made me rethink my relationship with God and with prayer. She is such a good
Oh,
surrogate for faith. She is like such a good, just like person to see because she's clearly a bitter bitch, really, like on the surface. She's got a
yeah.
lot of walls, she's got a lot of trauma.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
see her, just when she feels super comfortable and when she's around people that she believes cares about her and all that, she is so incredibly good. I just love her.
And when she's talking with Robert and they
Oh,
went
and
out
he's
on,
ready to go, and it was so sweet.
now tell me, and is this common or uncommon? I'd like anybody who knows to share. I thought he was high as a kite on
No,
his
I
way
think
out the
he's
door.
coming off of it, and it's
Oh,
like going through
yeah, because I
withdrawals.
almost thought he's high as a kite
But
right
also,
now.
he may
But
not,
I
he's
think a
so
lot of people,
addicted that,
I think a lot of people though, take one last hit of whatever as they're
or
going
like, yeah,
in.
like there's not a healthy way to just go off of whatever you're on. I mean, that was the
It's
biggest
not what
risk
he's
for
on.
me.
He's
I
on
just
everything.
stopped, and
Yeah.
I thought I was going to drop dead from a heart attack. But I was like, yeah,
Exactly.
whatever.
And
That's what
people
happens.
have. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I
and
didn't.
people have. But I thought, I don't know if there's, I mean, one of the things about rehab that I've read, because I used to watch, I loved it. Dr. Drew, Celebrity
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rehab was just gold. And and nobody, I mean, they were all had the first 1 to 3, 4 days were horrendous
Yeah, of course.
because they're coming off. So I just assume that most
He
people
might just be still on it, but the other thing too
use.
is
I
that
just I thought he was
Kim
high as a
Richards,
kite.
when Kim Richards was sober, she
Mm.
still looked a little high and acted a little high sometimes. Like some of these drugs have lasting impact on you. So
Yeah, I
that's the
mean,
other thing. Where's his
and
girlfriend? Did her family grab her and put her into rehab too?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. That's
But
the
it's
the
good because
elephant
it
in the
shows that
room.
it's real because there's no way she'd still be shacking up in the room if Mary was bringing her to, but Mary said she's in rehab still when Robert got out. So that was good.
Oh, so she's in rehab. And then you
And
know what?
they're
They're
still
probably gonna.
together.
Oh, they are. I was gonna say because they probably are gonna have to separate while
No,
they
I
get
think that it's
healthy.
people say that, but it's like I think it's that they have to separate until they're healthy or like just not be together. Because remember, Tom and Raquel were still together when they went to
Oh,
whatever it
they
was,
yeah, but they broke up
Storyland
after.
or wherever they went to.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, they went to
um,
Malibu House or
Malibu,
whatever.
yeah, whatever it
Yeah.
was. Malibu
What's that?
Country Club. Uh
No, that commercial that they played all the time. I did. I respect that Mary has not shared this with the group, and I don't
but
think
I
she,
respect even more that Angie hasn't.
and she better not.
She won't.
No.
They're still besties. So
And
yeah, they're
you can tell by the way they held each other that they've formed a real bond. Like you could just tell when she saw her, and Mary needed that hug because Mary just dropped her kid off at rehab
yeah.
and she needed that hug.
Well,
I
we've seen
thought,
a different Mary because even with the champagne last season, Mary would have been like,
oh, she
I just
made a
got
big
here.
deal
Why did
at
I want
Trixie's.
champagne? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. It's 10
And
o'clock.
then
I'm not
remember,
like
they
those other
didn't
women.
know who the
I'm not
champagne
like
was
those
she
other
wanted.
women. I'm
Yeah.
not like those other women. But instead, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I
But
just don't
thank
want
you
it.
so much. That was so sweet of you. And
Yeah.
even you could tell that she was trying to put on an act when she saw Heather because Angie likes Heather. So that means
Yeah.
Mary probably likes Heather now. And
Right.
Heather and Mary had a good interaction, but then you could quickly see Mary want to be like, "Oh hi."
Yeah.
She like went back to her like kind of dark, closed off ways, but
Yeah,
her
totally.
initial look at Heather was a big smile and like, "Oh, it's Heather! I'm so
Yeah.
excited."
I will say that Mary's pastrami soup will go down in history
Oh,
as one of the best lines ever. And none of them, like, did they have see the menu themselves? None of them could have picked out it was minestrone. I mean, they had to like
well,
do
they were all no, they all could. They were
it
all like,
was
"What are you talking about?" And then all
no,
of a
but it
sudden they
was like
clicked.
20 questions on the pastrami soup. Like one person should have said, like, you mean
It was their
minestrone.
confessionals that they asked the questions for the most part.
Oh,
The
well, I'm
voices.
gonna tell you now.
You need to know the
Um,
difference between B-roll and them talking in their confessionals. Pay attention. Elise.
Police. Um, okay, let's get to the big story.
Okay.
And that is, I have a question. At
Ooh,
this time, I did not know Todd was on Watch What Happens Live with
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
Well, he was on with he sat with Joey G in the audience.
Did Bronwyn go on this show for more than one reason? We know one is because, wait. We know one is because she wanted the exposure. She's loving this. She has
Yeah.
no trouble. Two, did she want to expose Todd?
I don't know because she then backtracks on Watch What Happens Live and she says that
Typical.
it wasn't a physical infidelity. It was just that she thought the girl was not respecting that Todd had a wife. And I was like, that is so different than what you said on the show.
Yeah,
Way different. And it makes
totally.
me realize that definitely Lisa's right. Like, she is giving Lisa such a level of validation for turning to Meredith and being like, yeah, that was odd. That's not what I know. Like, and
Yeah.
then, like, what I find to be crazy is that, like, it's like you also are telling people that you went on, like, with the dog bites and that Todd wouldn't go. But then we find out that, like, you called Todd and he talked to his assistant because he was in a meeting and just said, I got bit by a dog. Well, that natural reaction would be just go to the doctors. Now, did Todd see the
A
he said no
severity
because
of
he
her
said that
wounds.
when her daughter showed Todd, that's when he was all like, whoa, oh my God. So it's like what I find is that Bronwyn is like, she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't understand what being on a show means. She doesn't understand that everything you say is going to be taken and captured and all those things. The same way
Right.
Todd didn't know with the
Mm-hmm.
tequila, with the Vita tequila, because
Right.
even then he thought he was being like, it's not good tequila. Well, the microphone you have on, Todd, it's
Yeah,
going to
it
pick that up
records everything.
regardless of if you
Yeah.
say it loud or
Yeah.
soft, and then they can raise the volume.
Yeah. But I have to wonder, and remember, it's not just the fidelity I'm talking about here, because that's like a fifth.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, what he does to her is way worse than infidelity
Oh, yeah, it is.
because he mentally berates and controls
And
her.
owns her.
Yeah. And that to me is worse.
Yeah.
And I wonder subconsciously if she didn't go on this show knowing that she would be exposing Todd and
Oh,
all of she there's proof right there for court. I don't have to say because he's a more powerful older man with money, but I can take out a tape and say, wow, look at how he's controlling me here. Look how he's controlling me here. I'm not sure that she's not systematically setting up a case
I
to
hear what you're
divorce her
saying.
husband.
Yep.
I question that
Especially because she
aspect.
said that they don't have a prenup. Like
Uh-huh.
she's shared all of these big moments.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yeah. And so I have to wonder if she didn't go on this show to expose him. And maybe not even consciously. She might be working subconsciously. She
Exactly.
could be thinking, okay, I did my 10 years in most states. After 10 years, money gets involved. That seems
Yep.
to be the thing, a decade. My daughter's out of the house. I don't have to provide that stability for her anymore. He's going to cut her off soon, anyways. And I have to wonder if she's getting to be 40 years old or so now, she's going through her own midlife crisis. She's probably looking at hot guys all over Salt Lake going, look at
And
this.
now all these hot guys are coming in her DMs. I'll treat you right, baby.
Well, they won't, but
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
do. They say that.
oh, well,
Who's your
no, that's
mess?
what they say.
Who's your mess?
Bronwyn, because you don't go on a show. We
Yeah,
didn't
you're
even
right.
get to Lisa being attacked and Lisa leaving. I
Oh
would
yeah.
have left probably too. You know what I mean? That whole dinner, every one of these dinners, somebody's leaving, somebody's had enough. I
Storming
don't,
away.
I mean, I will say there was a part of me this episode that thought, Bronwyn, you could almost be in New York.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I think she'd actually not fit in there either because there's nothing about this cast that needs to be changed except giving Brittany a
Right.
diamond or snowflake, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, but also this, um, um, and Lisa shouldn't have to defend this idea in Bronwyn's head that she's supposed to be defended because you've known me the longest. And I thought, I wanted to say, you're exhausting, Bronwyn.
Yeah, for
She is
sure.
exhausting. Everybody thinks it's Brittany who's a little bit, I got an announcement. I got an announcement. Brittany is like a breath of fresh air compared to
Totally.
Bronwyn.
Totally.
I mean, one is very